Murfreesboro and Rutherford County are so rich in their respective histories, with many women who've had integral roles in creating our community's sense of place. The Rutherford Arts Alliance is proud to partner with Murfreesboro City TV to showcase a number of these women as a part of our Leading Ladies of Rutherford County History project. From murals to our community-involved play, A Party of 12 by Mary Donay Johnson, we're proud to honor these diverse women of our past who inspire us as we give them a voice in today's world. Let's find out more about one of these leading ladies.
Teacher, community activist, leading lady. Myrtle Glanton Lord's impact on education and our community was incredible. She taught for 40 years throughout Rutherford County, including Bradley and Hobgood. She worked with others on establishing the old Bradley Academy School as a museum. Her legacy educating children is still recognized today with a library named in her honor. Myrtle Glanton Lord was truly a leading lady.
Barbine, I am so glad to have you here today to talk about Miss Myrtle Lord. I know she's your relative, so if you can go ahead and just sort of introduce her to us. And like I said, I know being here at Bradley Academy Museum is one of the starting point, probably from school herself. But I'm going to let you go ahead and tell us about that, and me not take away from your story.
Yes, I am Barbine Glanton Wade. Aunt Myrtle is my aunt. Her brother is my father, Robert Lee Glanton. There were 7 siblings in this family, and she was the 4th of those siblings. David passed away when he was a baby, and I did not really know William, but then there's Uncle Luther, there's Uncle James, there's my father, Robert Lee, there's Aunt Myrtle. Cindy was a sister. Okay. And I did not really get to know her either because she passed away when I was very young, about 4 or 5. But a huge family. The mother passed away probably I want to say 1944. So Aunt Myrtle took on the position of being the mother of the boys. And so it was often funny because she would be the one in control. Mm-hmm. They had to listen to what she had to say, but she loved her family dearly. When they got sick, when Uncle James was sick, she would be the one to take care until he passed away. Mm-hmm. The same with Uncle Luther. He was a judge in Iowa. And when he got sick, she traveled to Iowa to help take care of him. So she's been the one that would be the one to take care of the mm-hmm. guys. Also, I left out probably Uncle Simon. How could I mm-hmm. forget him? The owner of Simon Glanton's Cash Grocery. Mm-hmm. When Aunt Lydia passed away, then she would be the one that helped try to provide him with food, mm-hmm. even though a lot of the times he didn't like what she prepared for him, but mm-hmm. she did that. Mm-hmm. She very active in the community. She loved her community, her mm-hmm. neighborhood. As I was just rehashing some of the things, like, she loved Christmas, and, she would decorate her house, and then they would have a contest on Hancock Street so I don't know if they had any prizes or anything, but, they would decorate. Mm-hmm. She loved the red and black. Mm-hmm. She loved that. You know, every year she was ready to do her modeling. That was her specialty. And she loved to dress, so that was right up her alley. She had picnics she had a huge backyard. You wouldn't think, to look at that little blue and yellow house on that street, you see a blue and yellow house. So who had a blue and yellow house, right? She loved color, but I guess that, you know, that's her. You know, she dressed, you know, to the T, had those stiletto heels, and
she always carried herself that's the way I remember her forever, is how she carried herself.
Oh yeah.
Just always.
Made up, earrings, jewelry, and you know, when she stepped out, you know, she was looking good.
And you know, some people say you have to feel good about yourself and stuff, and she did. I went to her house and she had mirrors. Oh, she loved to see herself in mirrors.
I know.
I mean, she was always, you know, that lady of character in the way she carried herself, the way she walked and stuff. And I remember her too there at the library, there at Patterson Center. So, and I know she spearheaded that. I mean, if you want to mention that about Patterson, as well as teaching here.
Right, she taught here for many years. Was it the one room classroom? Now I think she was saying it was about 35 to 40 students that she taught from first grade on up. And what she did was, you know, she would have the older kids to teach the younger ones to help, you know, move things along. But she was a strong teacher. I mean, to think that she would take on, you know, those many kids. And so, yes, she stayed here until they opened up what we call the new Bradley. And I think they opened that up in '55, I want to say. That's the year I was born.
Yeah,
but she started working there with Ms. Roberts.
Yes.
So yes, a wonderful teacher. I don't know how many years she taught there, but I remember after she left the new Bradley, she went to Hopgood.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't realize that. I knew.
Yeah,
I always knew her at Bradley, but I didn't know.
That's where she retired from. She taught there maybe 4 or 5 years, but yeah, the most of her years was down here below at Old Bradley and then to New Bradley. But you know what? She actually started, was it Little Hope?
Oh, okay.
I want to say it was when she first started. It was back at Little Hope. So she's been around.
Yeah.
Been around, but you know, she loved what she did.
Yeah, and you talked about her mom died when she in around 1944. So she was probably how old? Well, Miss Lord, she was fairly young, wasn't she?
Yes, I would say.
Her family did well, because I know Mr. Glanton, you know, the store, and I used to live next door to him. He always called us neighbors. To this, I doubt if he ever knew my name. He always called us neighbors, because I lived next door to him there on Castle Street.
Okay.
And then her brother went on to be a judge. I met him. He spoke at the Martin Luther King Scholarship Banquet. I didn't know him until then. I met him then and everything. So they seem to have done well. And I know one of the brothers served in the service, because I was out there putting some flowers on the graves out there, and I saw his headstone.
Okay.
And it may have been Luther. I'm not sure which one of them it was, but one of her brothers out there in the Q section of the Stones River National Battlefield. They're buried it's buried out there. So I don't remember which one it was. I don't know why. Luther was the judge, right?
Right.
So was there a Felix?
Not a William.
William, but it's one of them out there, and I looked at that. That was her brother.
Okay.
So I'll have to go back and research and look at that to see.
Perhaps.
But she was always well respected in the community. It was the way she
carried
herself.
Yes,
and
she demanded that
and
respect.
Very articulate way she talked.
Yes, she was on the kids. She attended Original Church of God on East Castle Street, and where she was the church treasurer for the Sunday school and church. So, as you know, I was one of the Sunday school teachers and some of the others. So the kids would have to come out for a review, right? So her seat is like the second seat from the front seat, always same spot. So, you know, I would tell the kids, okay, now you want to do this review. Now you know Miss Lloyd is sitting there and she is going to get on you if you do not speak out loud and pronounce your words. And lo and behold, they get out there and they be mumbling, and she's gonna say, "Speak up! I cannot hear what you're saying. You're mumbling." And I said, "Told you." But yeah, she would be on the kids, and that's a good thing though, because you want the kids to be able to speak out and out loud so that people can hear what you're saying. So she stressed reading, and she did the reading program at Patterson Center every summer, which they did have little prizes and what have you, but she really stressed for the kids the reading, which was essential. It still is. And so,
and I know she made a big impact on a lot of the children. Sometimes we go through things and we don't, you know, we think, oh man, they're just rough on us and this and that and the other, but then later on, you end up appreciating what they have done for you.
And you know, we would take her out to eat when she got up in the age and stuff, and it was just amazing. The students, her old former students, you know, she didn't really, you know who they were, but they knew her, and they would always thank her for being, you know, strict on them, you know, for helping them to get through their school year. But you know, it was something, you know, to see how people really did appreciate her, even though they may have hated being in her class. I was not in her first grade class, but other people have told me that, you know, she was strict, but I learned a lot from being in her classroom.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, I just knew her, and I was around her, in the midst of her, and there at Patterson, how much she worked in order to really to get that building itself. She was a part of the one that spearheaded that for them to put that building there in the community and everything. Then, you know, they thought so much of her to name that library after her because of the fact the way she was about reading and wanted to instill in children how important it was to be able to read and comprehend what they read.
Exactly.
And everything.
Exactly.
So that was a good point. And I tell you what, she was in her 90s? Was she right?
She was 99 when she passed.
That's what I was thinking.
She was born in 1908. So February the 14th, you know, when that time comes around, it's like, okay, Myrtle's birthday.
Yeah. And
yes,
even
what a blessing.
in her 90s and stuff, I mean, how she carried herself and wanted to look good wherever she went, even at that age.
Spry. I mean, she had more energy than anybody.
And she was a health buff. You can tell how she took care of health. And that's the reason why she had that spark about her, that bounce about her, you know, and everything.
Yeah, she was, you know, she didn't eat a lot of, you know, all of this, but she did like neck bones. That was a specialty that she did like to, you know, eat and cook. But she did like neck bones. But other than, you know, it's mostly like fried chicken but she liked fried fish though. Like, you know, we used to do like fried fish every Friday for her because she loved that. But she took some kind of garlic tonic. We don't know what that was, but she.
Well, I say we were like, whatever it was, it worked.
It worked. It worked.
Yeah.
She stayed healthy on up until her late 90s. So, but yes, yes, she was a you know, a wonderful person. You know, you had to know her to love her.
Yeah, and she didn't have any children of her own, but she just took up with.
She has a stepson. When she married John Lord. John Lord had a son, so she did have a stepson.
See, I never knew her husband. I just knew.
Yeah, that was way back when.
Oh, okay.
She also loved pets. That made me think about her dog, Sporty. But she loved her dog, so that was her child.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just trying to think. Was she originally from Murfreesboro, Did they move here from somewhere else?
Well, she was born in Dilton, so
Oh,
so
okay.
she's been here.
See, I didn't
most
know
of life.
exactly where the Glantons came from.
Georgia, but they did come from Georgia. Yes,
okay.
Georgia, but she was born in Dilton. So
In Dilton.
Yes,
Okay.
a place I need to visit sometime.
Yeah. They have a lot of relatives? I know I'm talking about, I know the siblings and their children or whatever, but I'm talking about other family members. Does she have family members in Dilton? I would just love to research that to find out.
I'm pretty sure they are. I'm trying to think of
I know the Glantons, that's your cousin in Nashville. I used to see the advertisement about Lavelle Glanton.
The attorney,
And
yes.
his daughter, I see them on commercials and everything. So, okay. But
Yes.
is there anything else you would love to tell about Miss Glanton? I know she was a big impact in this community as well as, and seeing the three of them together,
I know.
those are the three that we've talked about today, and talk about the impact that they made in this community. So that's something that you brought that with all three of them, there, Miss Scales and Miss Roberts, and then Miss Lord.
I know,
Yeah.
in the middle. I just tell you, they were threesome.
And they really made a difference in this community, and they cared about the community and the people within the, in the community and everything.
Right.
So.
She was also involved in a lot of clubs, because I remember, was it Better Homes and Gardens?
Yes.
Dynamic Club. She also liked the Humane Society? Habitat, she was a part of that too.
Is anything else you want to share?
This is an old picture of the Patterson Center. The clinic donated a bench, and that's her sitting up
look
there.
At there.
I know, right? It's just
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic donates bench to Patterson Community Center.
I know.
Wow, look at there.
Is that not? I know. I'll tell you. But yes, she loved that. She wanted that community center so that the kids in the community could go to, have a place to go. And she was, her major was physical education.
Really?
And,
no wonder she was so fit.
Yes, exactly. And she was all about exercising, dancing. She kept her kids moving. And I should mention that in the park years ago, she ran the park down there at Patterson. So every the beginning of summer, we would have to line up and make a parade going into the park, march around the park to open up the park. This was every summer. And but bless her heart, it was really, when I think about it, I said, oh my goodness, we did that. And then she would have juice and snacks for us, after we played, got hot. But it was a special time, the opening of that park, Patterson.
So she was very noteworthy of that library being named after her.
Yes,
because of the work that she done.
She
to
did
make
put
sure
out.
To have that center there in the community. A lot of the activities that sort of like the baseball, the stuff like that, all that have been removed from here, and everything. So I think that probably have hampered a lot of our kids moving forward in that area because we don't have it. And back in the day, they had all of that within that that park.
So true.
And everything. But for her to really spearhead to make sure that they put that park, that building there in the Patterson Park was very instrumental.
It was.
In everything. So, okay. Well, I appreciate you coming by and sharing this with us about Miss Lloyd, and also, and she really deserved being a part of the leading ladies here in this community because of the fact what she contributed to this area, to this community. and as well as the nation as a whole. I think she was a politician too, wasn't she? Into the politics.
She
and
was
stuff.
into the League of Women Voters.
Yeah.
Yes.
And all of that.
Oh
So,
yes, she was one.
Yeah.
She was one.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing this with us about Miss Lord, and I'm sure you're gonna be seeing a lot more in the future. And I know it brings back memories.
It
and
does
stuff,
when you
know.
start looking at pictures and
Yeah.
reading. You know, it's just like, gosh, you know,
Yeah.
the history is, and you know.
And we all owe a great deal of gratitude to these women
We do.
because of the fact that
We really do.
The foundation they laid for us. And I'm one to believe you don't get anywhere by yourself. And I feel like those people,
Right.
they really
Set the foundation.
That's right, for us to be able to go on
And it's
make some
important for-
footprints of our own.
Yes.
And things that they have done for other people in this community. And
So true.
they've gone on and did other things in this whole nation. And we really appreciate those ladies.
For more information about our project, Leading Ladies of Rutherford County History, visit our website, leadingladiesrutherford.com. Or if you have a story of someone from the past who inspired you, you can share it on our website. For more information about the Rutherford Arts Alliance and what we're doing to promote arts, culture, and heritage, visit rutherfordartsalliance.org. And thank you for watching.